Chase, sit down. Hey, y'all. Hey. Sorry. Thought I was organized, but I wasn't. Good morning. Let me adjust this light. Good morning.
Rise and shine. Good morning.
Good morning. The wind is blowing really hard. So
Yes, it is.
if the lights go out, I'm going to apologize in advance. So it's that wind is blowing like somebody bad weave on a day. I'm telling you, it's blowing.
It's a mess out there today down here too. It's cold. It's freezing too. I didn't bundled up. I took wrinkles outside twice today already, and yeah. It's cold.
I said last night, don't ask me to go nowhere. I'm not going to the gym till March. I only go to work and come home. I'm gonna be honest with you, because it's gonna be 17 degrees today. So I just turned my heat up. Oh, good morning.
It's cold out there. It is not playing. And that's a wild thing too, because I feel like I do better in the winter months for my exercises. Yes. Than I do when it's like a little bit hotter. I don't like to sweat too much.
I'm not gonna lie. So I showed my garage last night. I got boxes in there from TikTok Shop. So, and we're upgrading our accessories. So my garage looks like a storage room. So my treadmill is out there. Now I can move the Stairmaster inside and I can do that. But honey, don't ask me, Kim, there's a little party. No. If it's called, no.
Not so much.
I'm just, yeah.
So that means you ain't been to no Christmas parties these last weeks. I don't know if did your office have a Christmas party?
Yes.
Okay, so you went to that?
No. Because when I got home, well, I had to deal with my car. I'm still dealing with the insurance company just paid off my car. So, but I'm not gonna lie. That night, the temperature got and then I got to drive an hour. So it started at 6. So traffic here, traffic is 5 o'clock on a Friday, and it's Christmas. So I got to drive way back. No, that's okay. I was with them in spirit.
You should have just stayed there then, right?
No, ma'am. It wasn't even at work. They had rented like a country club. So it was, you have to come dressed.
Oh, okay. Well, we had one. It was just a luncheon. It wasn't anything outside of work. And we did have like another event like right before though. And it was nice. It was nice. So we went to it was a whole event though. So we went bowling. And then we had like a little like a taco bar, which was nice. It was cool. I love a good taco bar because I love some Mexican food. And it was nice. And so that was after work as well. And so I'm with it,
Yeah.
So I love a good holiday party.
Right. Yeah, no, it's cool. Bless you. Yeah. So holiday parties. No one sent me their questions, so please don't get upset if your questions in the chat does not get answered. Dustin has an hour, and I'm gonna get Tiffany when we get a chance today. I'm gonna talk. There's so many amazing people that I found that we could have on, especially they're female nurse practitioners. I sent you one, but it's another one. But however, scheming of that. stalls, all the questions that I've been seeing. I kind of told Tiffany I wanted this because, baby, the questions that I have been seeing, and it's not like people talking, it's like, they do the text screen, and the amount of questions that they ask, I'm like, is this for clickbait, likes, or are they serious? Because
I do see a lot of text on screen lately.
and it's a lot of them like, I'm on 2.5, it's not working, I've been in the stall for a week. That is not a stall. It's a lot. And right, I was like, no ma'am. How many proteins should I get? It's all of those questions have been scaring me. So Dustin is about to come on. I'm going to text him and let him know that we're on. Have your questions, share this live. This is the time to get the correct information on breaking stalls, what you should eat. Thank you so much. What you shouldn't eat. Intermittent fasting. I see a lot of people talk about intermittent fasting on a GLP-1. Then they don't feel good when they're doing it. And yes, so let me text him really quick. And I'm going to text Dustin really quick.
Okay. Welcome in, y'all. Rise and shine. We are getting started. We are getting started in just a few. Dustin will be on very shortly. If you have never seen Dustin, any of his lives, I talk about him in my lives a lot. Because I really want him to talk about, especially for the ones, because there's a lot of us that have been on these MEDs for years. And so I want him to really kind of hit on what does that look like now? Because a lot of times he really talks about, and really it being that there's a life, like there's a like a threshold of what, how long people can really be on these MEDs. And so I want him to kind of touch on that a little bit, as well as to talk about his program, because his program seems really good. So it's been phenomenal. Broadway, I did talk to your wife too, so message me.
Sit. Don't act up today.
Look, I just had to put y'all other nephew up, so already know. I
gotta talk to him like BJ. Don't act up today, because you ain't never done this before.
They're human. They are humans. Welcome in, y'all. Rise and shine. I hope y'all are doing well. Welcome. Look, shameless plug for y'all already know what's going down in 2026, because as we get closer and closer, y'all, 2026 is here, and y'all already know what it is. The meetups are loading. Okay, so grab your besties and grab your significant others. Grab everybody, okay, and tell them to pull up for sure, because we are coming. I'm going to try to go to both. So I was just looking. So if we are huge fans of Auburn. And so we were looking at the 2026 schedule. And so Auburn is playing Tennessee on October the 5th or the 3rd, one of those. And I was like, oh, snap. What are we going to do? So I'm hoping once the committee gets together and we start to look at some dates, I don't know. It's going to be tight for us. It's going to be tight. It's gonna be tight. It is. Yeah. And then my husband just brought in the stuff too. So look, he was just asking me the other day, talking about anybody started sending in their stuff for the meetup. I was like, no, but we have plenty of people that have already committed. A lot of businesses. So I'm hyped. It is not gonna be like that Target gift bag. That's all I can say. Okay, it ain't gonna be like that.
I got a
swag bag gonna be swagging.
The last meetup in June. Listen, I don't know who did. I know who did my bag. I think it was Zeppy Peppy. Baby, thank you, because that bag was everything. It was full of face products. Okay, so their swag bags are, I'm telling you, are top tier. And then there wasn't no cheap stuff either. Okay, I got me some neck cream. I got me some eye cream. I got me some with them micro shots. I got me some, baby, when I tell you that bag, I said, okay, they know me. I felt so special. So yeah.
The bag is everything. I said, I feel so bad for those people from Target. I said, y'all need to call us. Call us to tell you what a bag should look like. Okay. What items should really be in a meetup or a some type of gift bag that you want to show appreciation to people. That's what it should look like. Do better. Do better.
I wouldn't even look. I've never got up early in the morning for Black Friday sales. Because I always started shopping.
I did when I was younger. I feel like that was so different though. It was different from the times that we are in now. Like, no, people, I mean, they have the same sales like 3 weeks ago, like 3 weeks earlier. So it's like, what's the point of like you getting up early anymore? You don't. You ain't got to go to the store and wait in the line at 5 a.m. or you ain't got to get up at 3 a.m. so then you can be there by 5 to be the first person in line. No, because it ain't nothing.
Listen, my mama had got up and got my Cabbage Patch dog, and she had, her and this lady was tussling physically over me and my sister getting them Cabbage Patch dolls. She said, "That's it. I'm not going nowhere." My mama was beating.
Not tussling. See,
my mama was fighting because we want, back in the day, them Cabbage Patch dolls, you had to have the birth certificate. Okay, right. So my mama said, "Girl," she said, "I had to fight." Man, her Jerry curl was all over the place. I said,
not Mama Jerry curl. Wait
Jerry curl like all over the place. So I've never done it. We're just
the
talking.
Things they used to wait for us to do. Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting for we just talking till Dustin come in, y'all. So okay. He said he's on his way. But yes, I always did Christmas shopping for my kids. Like I started in September, so I can catch the after school sales.
Oh yeah, on clothes and everything. Yep. That's good. I saw somebody put in there. How many TVs do we need? Thank you. Listen, what else do we need?
Walmart, like for real. They were buying.
I mean, for real. I remember Walmart used to give out like the numbers, so they started trying to, because for a long time, people used to just stand in the line and then they just be like, "All right, the doors are open." People just used to run, and I'm like, this is wild, but it was fun. That's a good memory. But now they just be like, "Here you go. You just get a ticket." They too organized. Now. Listen, but don't nobody need no more TVs.
My neighbor across the street knocked on the door, right? And she was like, they bought a 99-inch TV. So she see, her husband don't speak to us. Her husband to see us. Sometimes he speaks, sometimes he write. So Shannon went over there to help him because they're elderly. And she was like, she told her husband, "See, these nice men came over here and brought your TV in and you don't even speak to them." She said, "But that's okay. Once we hook this TV, right?" She said, "Once we hook this TV up, y'all are welcome to a Super Bowl party." I said, "Okay." The 99-inch, but the story is everybody was buying these 99-inch TVs.
A mess. I think I just saw Dustin come in too.
Okay, okay. Hold on. All right,
that's a straight mess. And then y'all hear y'all cousin and talking about something. I need another TV. No, we don't. Dustin, what up?
Hey, ladies.
Rise and shine. What's going on?
Oh, living the dream. I'm disappointed. My son's last game was supposed to be today, but in West Virginia, it's 12 degrees right now, and we got a bunch of snow, so they canceled the game. So,
oh no,
I'm sorry.
Heartbroken. I was ready for him to ball out in his last game. So, we'll see.
I'm sorry to hear that.
We'll see what happens. They're gonna reschedule in a few weeks. But he was all excited. And then I got me a custom Jordan hoodie, and then got his name and number on the back. So I got that in the mail yesterday. I was all excited. So, but anyway, thanks for inviting me on. I appreciate it. I'm excited.
Yes, we are too. We are.
We got some Maryland, my son game. Yeah, I'm not. It's going to be 17 degrees. I'm not. They may be lucky if I go to work tomorrow, but I need my PTO. I only got 12 hours.
My husband, he has a friend that is snowed in, and I forgot where he said he was going. He was trying to get to Chicago though, but he snowed in and he can't go anywhere. And he was like, "That's why I didn't go to Chicago last week." I said, "I see."
Well, that's supposed to be I think 3 tonight here.
What?
So,
oh no, ma'am.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, good old West Virginia. It's either 100 degrees in the summer or 0 degrees in the winter. It's more bipolar than I am.
Well, first of all, everybody stay warm. Katarina says -10 in Minneapolis. Oh,
I'm sorry. I just want to apologize.
Sorry too. I'm definitely sorry. Just stay inside. Don't even go outside.
So, Dustin, thank you for coming on. Really, I love and appreciate you. I wanted you on because, so there's a lot of newbies now. And they have that. I don't know where they're getting the information from. And I wanted to start with the bases. Nobody sent in their questions. So if you ask a question and he doesn't get to it, I'm sorry. You should have sent in your question. So the thing that the first thing for me is stalls. Because I've literally seen people say, I'm on a stall for a week. I'm on a stall for 2 weeks. The scale is not moving. I'm drinking protein shakes. The scale is not moving. I'm at a stall. So I'm just going to let you, please.
And Dustin, please introduce yourself as well, too. Because I know there are probably some people out there that they do know you, but then a few that are like, who is this guy and why do they have him on here today?
Yeah, random guy with the country accent from West Virginia. I get that a lot. So just to introduce myself, so my name is Dustin Holsten. So I'm a nutritionist, weight loss specialist. I went to Cornell for wellness counseling and personal trainer. I've been doing this for 23 years. So obesity management, weight loss, infertility, chronic health conditions, that's our go-to. What up, Broderick, my boy? Broderick started watching me about 1.5 years ago on my lives. And Broderick, put in the chat how much you're down. I've never made a penny off this guy. He gets on, he asks amazing questions, and his weight loss is absolutely bonkers. So drop that in the chat. It's pretty wild how well he's done with just some insight. So anyway, I specialize in fixing the root cause of why you gain weight in the first place, right? So the way that I always explain it, and I think it makes sense this way, you have a bullet wound in your body, okay? That bullet wound is your metabolism, your hormones, your chronic health conditions, your genetics, chromosome disorders, which are super, super rare. But that's what's going on inside you. That's why you gained weight to begin with, and that's why weight loss is difficult, right? GLP-1, even though you have this bullet, it puts a really good patch on it. It stops the bleeding. So it puts you in a position where you can be successful. You have 2 options, and I'm cool with either option. I'm not one of those douchebags, for lack of a better term, that dictate what you have to do with your life. You can take the medicine and see what happens, right? You take it, you may lose a lot of weight, you may gain weight. I've seen both sides. Now, obviously, gaining weight's very, very rare, maybe 5 out of 100 or something like that. But you can see what happens, or what I do with my clients is force them to become hyper responders. So, a hyper responder is someone that loses quite a bit more than what is average, right? And that's what everybody wants to be, right? You don't want to lose 35 pounds. You want to lose 100 pounds. You know. But what I do also is I put you in a situation where you can tone at the same time, so that what's maximizing results will also give you the return on investment on the physique that you want at the end of your journey. So that's what I do. So a few things, and I have a chart on this, and I don't know if it'll be viewable, but we will try. So there was a study. This is when it was trying to get approved by the FDA, and it's a chart on how long weight loss lasts on GLP-1. And I get really frustrated with providers, and I promise, guys, this is worth your time. I get really irritated with providers because, in my opinion, when you start, there should be 3 things they should do, okay? 1, they should automatically prescribe Zofran, because overwhelmingly chance you're going to have some GI issues. Secondly, they should tell you how much average weight loss is for your current weight. We know through the FDA trial data exactly what estimated weight loss is on semaglutide and tirzepatide. What happens, and I see this every single live I do, people think they're doing bad. Like, hey, I'm only down 50 pounds. Well, that may be more than what the FDA trial data says you should lose, but you don't know difference because all you do is follow influencers. Influencers are not going to brag about gaining weight or brag about looking older because they may not be doing the right things or whatever. So I'm worried about accelerated aging, and I can talk about that with the plateau shortly. But if you can see this chart, which you probably can because of how small it is, but I think it's readable.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, let me turn mirror mode off. Let me see if it lets me.
Y'all heard Broderick. I'm telling you, listen up. This is the reason why I started following Dustin in the very beginning, was when he started talking about the life of the MEDs, and people just think that, this is going to be something that, you don't have to change, just keep doing the same old thing for however long. And that is not the case. It's not.
Yeah, unfortunately, it won't let me turn Mir off as a guest on this, so this chart's going to be backwards, and I apologize. But what you need to pay attention to is at week 40 here on the chart, you notice that the weight starts leveling off. So that's going to be roughly 9 months. So at 8 or 9 months, the weight on average starts stalling. And then for most people, by the time they get to month 13, 14, it's actually done with weight loss more often than not, right? We always know the person that keeps losing, right? But on average, the medicine, when it comes to weight loss purposes only, is typically only good for about 8 to 14 months on the average person. So that means that a plateau is going to happen more often than not, right? Thank you for all the kind words. And hey, if you don't agree with me, hey, we're all friends. So it's okay if you don't want to agree with me. So just FYI, I don't get butthurt on that unless you're going to be mean to somebody else in the chat. That's what fires me up. So we have a great community here in the GLP-1. And FYI, I actually take semaglutide for heart disease prevention. So I actually do take GLP-1s. I don't use it for any other reason, but it makes my heart health 10 times better. I just lost my mom 3 months ago to heart-related issues. So I appreciate it. But she had been suffering all her life. She actually had she dropped dead at 45. Dad brought her back with CPR. And I'm 42 on Christmas. So your boy's a little worried, right? So he's trying to do everything he can. But the moral of the story, the first thing I wish they would do is prescribe Zofran. Secondly, I think they should tell you estimated weight loss, how much you should lose or what estimated weight loss is, so that you all would be able to reflect and say, hey, I'm either doing well or I'm not doing well, or I'm doing average, right? And even if you're not doing well, there's things that we can incorporate, and we'll talk about that in a second. And then 3, letting them know that once you plateau for 3 or more weeks, chances are you're done unless, and thank you for all the kind words, guys. I've really appreciated it. Once we get to that plateau, you have to fix the root causes of why you gained weight in the first place. That's that bullet hole, right? The hormones, the metabolism, the chronic health conditions, the genetics. That's the issue, because the GLP-1 did its job stopping the bleeding, but it never fixed the issue. So if we can fix the metabolism, we can fix hormonal related issues, we can fix genetics, if we can fix those things, then we sew up the bullet hole. And then GLP-1 takes off and puts us in a position to lose a ton of weight, right? So the way that I always see it is if you're 250 pounds, we know average weight loss on semaglutide is 37.5 pounds. We know that tirzepatide at 250 pounds is 50 pounds of weight loss. Both of those are over the course of 16 to 18 months. So that would be average. So if you're actually doing the math, if you're 250 pounds and you're losing 3 pounds a month, you're actually, if you're on semaglutide, you're losing 3 pounds a month, you're actually average, and you're just like, wow, that's not, it's not exactly what I thought, right? So it always tell people
never what they thought, Dustin. It's never what they thought.
Right. So you have 2 options. You got the red pill and the blue pill. The red pill is you just take the medicine and see what happens. The blue pill is why don't we fix some of the root causes of why you've been struggling? So that way it puts us in a position where you can actually get your dream physique. So I'm going to show you 2 transformations. One is Linda Lowe. I think maybe you all know who Linda is, or Zeppy.
Yep.
So Zepp started with us a long time ago. So this is 69 years old. She lost 170 pounds. That was on Zepbound. She started off at 270, so she should have only lost 54 pounds, and she lost 3 times as much. Why? Because she's incorporating some interventions that are easy to follow to help put her in a position to be successful. And by the way, she's eating rice and potatoes daily. So you know my rule. And then like this,
ain't nothing but a number. Right. You just stated it, but it ain't nothing but a number. That's it.
This is 100 pounds in 9 months, and she was doing 10-minute body weight workouts that we wrote for her, and incorporating diet changes to her plan. And this was at-home workouts that were 10 or 15 minutes long. So I mean, she got a booty. She's a good friend of mine. I can say that. But like her arms are toned, her belly's flat. So like There's things that you can do to manipulate your results. It doesn't mean you have to get a gym membership. It doesn't mean you have to drink 100 protein shakes a day. It doesn't mean that you no longer have to do the niche diets. There's no more fasting anymore, guys. There's no more intermittent fasting. There's no more keto. There's no more carnivore. My clients, I've done this for 23 years, and I started keeping track of clients in 2019. So since 2019, it's over 5,000 clients. So I would add like an extra 1,000 to that probably over the course of my career. And I've had maybe 10 on carnivore or keto ever. And that was for neurological conditions, epilepsy, narcolepsy, things like that. In my opinion, and I'll ask you too, you all tried keto before, right? Have you all tried keto? And what happened? You couldn't stick to it. You gained weight.
I gained
it. Came back with a vengeance.
Yeah.
So fast.
So why do we have this amazing medicine that means we don't have to do that anymore? So let's not do these gimmicky diets, right? So here's why keto and carnivore and fasting, in my opinion, is a bad idea. Okay. So when we look at weight loss, sorry, I'm on one today. I'm in my zone today. So
if I talk too fast,
guys, let's go.
Give it to them. No chasing.
Guys, put it in the chart, or put it in the chart. Put it in the chat, and then I can summarize it a little bit better. I'm in the zone today. I'm rocking and rolling. So in my opinion, there's 4 reasons why GLP-1 works so well for weight loss. Okay. The first one, or I'm going to go in order of importance. The first one will be the least important, going up to the top. Number 1 or number 4 is the inflammation effects of the medicine. It's anti-inflammatory. So if it's anti-inflammatory, it's going to bring down inflammation, that'll bring down water weight, and it should bring down cortisol levels, making weight loss easier. Broderick, I love you, bro. I mean it. And you look great. I watched one of your TikToks recently. Number 3 on my list is the food addiction, right? It brings down the food noise, which is incredibly important. Guys, I swear to this, if you don't have binge eating disorder or appetite related issues, I can pretty much do the same thing with or without GLP-1. GLP-1 makes it a hell of a lot easier, and I'm pro GLP-1, so don't say I'm trying to talk you out of it. But in 23 years of coaching, and this is actually why we were one of the first practices to adapt GLP-1 many years ago, was because when I looked at my career, so for 18 years or 20 years, I used without GLP-1 because we didn't have GLP-1, right? We did, but very, limited use. They weren't very good options back in the day. I can guarantee if you're 300 pounds, I tell people I expect you to lose 100 pounds in a year with our coaching, okay, with or without GLP-1. But if you had binge eating disorder or you had appetite related issues or some hormonal concerns, it didn't matter how good of a plan I wrote you. And that's what you all deal with too. If you do have true binge eating disorder, it doesn't matter if you have the best plan in history of the world that guarantees 100 pounds of weight loss in a year if you can't control your appetite. Right? You can't control that food noise. It doesn't matter how good of a plan it is. I can't solve, this is an addiction, right? Food noise is an addiction. It's no different than being addicted to opioids or alcohol or gambling or smoking, right? It's the same process in the brain, obsessing over food because of trauma. We know that if you've had childhood trauma like myself, and I talk about my mental health a lot, you're like 40 to 60% likely to have binge eating disorder due to trauma. And all of us have had something that's really screwed with us since we're a little kid, right? I go to therapy over my trauma, so I'm real big into therapy and seeking help when you need it, because I needed it. I was struggling for a number of years, like 20. I put up with it for a long time. It wasn't, too long. So number 3 is reducing the binge eating and food noise. Number 2 is the appetite suppression, right? So it slows down digestion, so you're not as hungry, which allows you to eat less. But the reason why we even have GLP-1 is blood sugar and insulin optimization. It actually teaches the body to use carbohydrates and blood sugar and insulin effectively. So because it does that, that means that if you're not eating carbohydrates, and I don't even care what carb it is, whether it's candy or sweet potatoes or oats or, a really healthy carb, Obviously, you should limit your candy, but when you're not eating carbs, you're not taking advantage of the blood sugar and insulin optimization effect of the medicine. So this is where a lot of you all will get mad. And here's the deal. I'm going to tell you something that might make some people mad. I want you to be happy because this means you can have cake at a birthday party again and have some pizza with your family. If you ate 1,500 calories on keto and carnivore without GLP-1, and you ate 1,500 calories on keto and carnivore with GLP-1, the weight loss will most likely be identical. There might be a little bit of difference in inflammation and water weight, but with that, you're not taking advantage of the blood sugar and insulin optimization of the effects of the medicine. So you're doing a diet that's restricting your favorite foods when you don't have to on GLP-1 because it's actually helping you use those carbohydrates more effectively. So now, instead of doing restrictive diets where where we're eliminating our favorite foods, we need to learn flexibility. And this is where my clients do so well, is because we want them to follow what's called a lower carb diet. It's not keto and carnivore. Lower carb is the next step up. So normally, if you're at 40 carbs, 40 net carbs, you're going to be in ketosis eventually, right? So under 40, bad. Between 40 and 60 net carbs, so not counting fiber, that's what we call no man's land because you're going to feel like crap because some days your body's going to want to go into ketosis and some days it's not. That's where like the keto flu happens. Your energy's just zapped. You have headaches. You don't have energy. You feel like crap. We don't want that either. So what lower carb is to me is between 60 net carbs and 125 net carbs. Now 125 would be somebody super, super active, super in the gym, most likely male, but not always. So pick a number somewhere between 60 and 125 net carbs. So let's just say we pick 90. Okay, and this isn't a recommendation. This is just, I can't give medical advice to non-clients, but let's say it's 90. That's enough for a baked potato and a cup of rice in the same day. So say you do a protein shake for breakfast and whatever else. And then for lunch, you have what I call the best diet, the best generic diet for weight loss is protein, carb, veggie. So for lunch, you get a protein. It can be chicken, steak. It can be Greek yogurt. It could be a protein shake if you absolutely had to. It could be pork. It could be seafood. It could be shellfish. It could be where I live in the country. So venison or bison, some people like. But pick a protein.
Okay.
Pick a protein. I don't care which one. And then pick a carb. A baked potato. A cup of rice. A piece of fruit. A piece of bread. A serving of noodles. Yes, a serving of noodles, fine. But pay attention to what's called serving, right? We're talking about one serving. We're not talking about, and that's what gets you in trouble because I grew up on mashed potatoes and steak. I mean, that's just what we ate, right? And you didn't eat one serving of mashed potatoes. Your mom would plop you this much this much mac and cheese or this much mashed potatoes or whatever. And that's a little extreme, right? So we got to make sure that we, control that. And then veggie of choice. So protein, carb, veggie. You're going to do that for lunch. You're going to do that for dinner. So you want a baked potato for dinner and rice for lunch, or you'd rather have some fruit or whatever you want to do. That's going to give you enough carbs to optimize the effects of the medicine and give you flexibility. Well, how about this? What about on a Friday night, you want 2 slices of pepperoni pizza with your kids? Awesome. So what you do is, and hopefully you're using an app to track, but if you're not, you can kind of do some research and be like, okay, 2 slices of Papa John's pizza is 46 carbs. Okay, well, if I'm giving myself 90 a day, then I say, well, what can I do the rest of the day to still allow me to have that pizza at night? And maybe it's, lowering carbs a little bit for lunch. So you still have some, but eat a little bit less than you would so you can eat pizza. So that's why we love about a flexible lifestyle with a lower carbohydrate diet. Oh, I didn't mention 1999, this diet guaranteed weight loss and obesity. 76% more fat and 80% more weight loss than traditional calorie counting. What's cool with that study is they gave people food. They had 2 groups. One group ate the traditional American diet, higher carbs, lower protein, moderate fats, but they ate like we'll say 2,000 calories. I don't remember exactly what the number was. We're just going to say 2,000. The other group ate 2,000 calories also, and the food was provided, so we know it's legitimate. They actually issued the food to the people. That normally doesn't happen. They normally say eat healthy or good luck or whatever. In this one, they did a higher protein, lower carb diet, exactly what I'm suggesting, right? 76% more fat loss, 80% more weight loss. They did that study with PCOS. This was 2012 or 2014. Can't remember off the top of my head. Twice as much fat burning, twice as much weight loss, guaranteed weight loss for ladies with PCOS. Same diet, higher protein, lower carbs. Enough carbs to teach the body it's okay to have carbs, but not too many. Then they redid it this year. So the original study, and of course studies vary a little bit. So the original study was 76% more fat loss, 80% more weight loss. The PCOS study was twice as much weight loss and twice as much fat loss for ladies with PCOS with this diet. Newest study, 66, I think it was 66% more weight loss and 133% more fat loss. When your fat loss is that much higher than your weight loss, that means you're toning. Like you're getting your dream physique at the same time because you're burning fat, gaining muscle in the right places, and still losing 60% more weight than just, eating X amount of calories without really dictating what makes up those calories. So the moral of the story is, if we're trying to break through a stall or we're trying to maximize results on a GLP-1 journey, and we're trying to fully optimize the medicine correctly, it's no longer keto, it's no longer carnivore, it's no longer intermittent fasting, it's no longer fasting. The reason why I don't like intermittent fasting is because of the appetite suppressing effects of the medicine, the likelihood of starvation is already high. So when we look at the clinical definition of anorexia, we're typically talking about less than 800 calories a day. It is actually considered anorexia. I call it forced anorexia. You don't mean to be anorexic. It's the fact that the medicine you might have went up too fast, which is the thing that I hate. More medicine normally just starves yourself more. And yeah, you might produce more weight loss as you go higher, but it may be the wrong type of weight loss, right? So if you asked me, hey, Dustin, what are the side effects that you're most concerned with GLP-1? It's not cancer. We know that there's less cancer rates among GLP-1 users. We know that the risk of sudden death is lower. We know the risk of cardiac events are lower. We have all this great data on sleep apnea and heart health and tons of additional information. The new RETA study brought up inflammation reduction and knee pain reduction. So the chances of you not being able to get enough calories, carbs, protein, fats, vitamins, minerals, and nutrients is very high on GLP-1. So why would we do a diet where we skip meals on purpose and then not be able to make up the difference in the less food that we consume because of it? So the chances of you, let's say it this way, higher protein, I suggest everybody over 100 grams of protein unless you have CKD, right? So I need you at least 100 grams of protein. I need you no less than 60 grams of net carbs. And then I need women to have at least 40 grams of fat for hormonal production or 50 grams of fat for male hormone production. You're not going to eat that much food in a incredibly brief time window. Most likely, not on GLP-1. Your appetite's already suppressed. Intermittent fasting actually lowers appetite over time. So how am I going to get enough food to provide my body with what it needs to maximize results?
That's what I always ask Dustin. I'm like, I try to allow people to answer their own question. And I'm just like, well, if you can get in everything that you need in the rest of the time that you plan on consuming whatever, fueling your body, then that sounds great. If you can't, then we have a problem.
But see, and I'm glad Dustin is mentioning this because with intermittent fasting, and I say this all the time, this medication works on your blood sugars. So why would you want to intermittent fast? And then that's when you have the side effects. I'm feeling fatigue. I'm feeling, and then actually, if you are not eating and your blood sugars are low, you're going to feel hungry. So why would you intermittent fasting on a GLP-1 on a medication that lowers your blood sugar?
Yeah, and guys, don't think this is getting on to you all. It's just a scientific method that can be better for you and be better for your mental health, and you actually learn that food is not the enemy, it's how much of it, and you're struggling with that.
I'm like, what is Kim doing exactly?
Kim's struggling.
Go ahead, y'all. I'm listening.
So the side effects I'm worried about, that's where I was going. So
please discuss
Yes.
Number
and
one,
Dustin, one thing. So I wanted to, before you go to the next thing, I wanted to make sure that we got, because I feel like I got two of the things of the three things that you said you recommend for everybody before they even, while they're going, what their clinicians should be saying. One was the Zofran. You also said,
estimated weight loss. So
yes. That's a huge thing. What was the third thing?
When it stops working.
When it stops working.
That's
good.
Right. So 15 to 20% of your body weight over a year and a half. Normally stalls between 8 and 14 months, and that's done for weight loss unless you fix the root causes of why you gain weight in the first place. And then understanding that GI issues. And look, we have the new RETA trial data that came out Friday. It showed 75% of people with GI distress. So up to 25% had vomiting, 45% had constipation, 30-some% had diarrhea. We also saw a nerve issue that's a little concerning. 10% of it had a nerve-related issue. It's going to be approved. It's going to be great, but it still showed the same muscle loss. That was the biggest lie these influencers have been telling. They said there was less muscle loss on RETA. It's a GLP-1. When your appetite's suppressed and you're unable to get enough protein and resistance training in, you're going to see accelerated muscle loss potentially on GLP-1. So anyway, that's kind of it. So the side effects that I'm concerned with, number one, I call accelerated aging. And accelerated aging is a mixture of smaller nuances, okay? So accelerated aging, and we've seen it before, and I hope it hasn't happened to you, but some people on GLP-1, they take it for a year, they look 10 years older, right? They're more hollowed out, right? Mm-hmm. They have the droopy skin underneath their jaw, Ozempic face or whatever. They may have more belly hang. They may have more lunch lady arms. They lose the weight, but they may not look the way they want to, right? So what makes up accelerated muscle loss, right? We want to keep our muscle. We want to burn the fat, right? We keep our muscle. We get a lean toned physique once we lose the fat, right? We're going to be healthier. You're not going to have, I hate the word lunch lady arms, but you all use it a lot. So because of it, I just call it lunch lady arms. But we all get it occasionally. They tend to hang a little bit sometimes. But so number one of the accelerated aging is muscle loss. That concerns me, especially with women. I see a lot of women in their 40s, 50s, and 60s and above, going through either before menopause starts or during or after or whatever. They see a lot of muscle loss on average anyway. When we actually look at menopausal studies, we do see a large amount of muscle loss. And then what's crazy is in the study, it's almost like you're replacing fat with muscle. So you may not actually, some people gain a lot during menopause, some don't, but they'll notice it like they have a belly now and they didn't have a belly before, right? So it's like your body's replacing that muscle with fat. It may not cause a huge increase in everybody in weight. Most people do see a weight increase, obviously, with menopause. And guys, I know it's weird. I specialize in women's health. I've helped 83 ladies have babies with infertility. I specialize in PCOS. I know it's weird hearing a guy say this. I understand if you don't want to take my advice. I get it. I know it's odd for some people. I do these presentations all over the country, and sometimes I have people looking at me going, why in the hell is a country guy with an accent like that talking about ovaries and ovarian cysts and endometriosis? I'm passionate about it because we struggle with fertility with little man. We got him finally, which is great, but I've been doing this for a long time. But accelerated aging, I'm worried about. Muscle loss, I'm worried about. So if you lose your muscle, that's when the excess skin issues happen. That's when you have frailty. You might look good, but you may have a lower case of independent living or a lower chance of independent living later in life, right? So say you lose 100 pounds, but half of it was muscle. You may have to rely on canes or walkers or wheelchairs as you age because you lost the structure components. When we look at longevity studies, the things that matter the most is waist circumference and how strong your thighs are. If you have strong thighs, you live a long, independent life. And then we know that most metabolic conditions start with the stomach. So if we see a big stomach and weaker legs, the chances of, and I don't like to fearmonger, guys, so please don't think I am. This is a concern of mine because I don't want somebody, take the medicine for 3 years, lose so much muscle that they actually got around better at a heavier weight, right? And this happens. And I get it all the time where people are like, I think I looked better before GLP-1. I think I might have felt better before GLP-1 because I starved myself over the last year and I'm in a position now that I'm lighter, but I don't necessarily feel better. Hair loss, obviously, big one. That sucks, right? Mm-hmm. Normally from protein deficiencies. Actually, I have a rule. It's normally 4 things. 1, GLP-1 can cause hair loss. However, more often than not, if you do what you need to do, it's minimized or it doesn't happen, right? So it's possible. You could be that group that's going to have it no matter what. Number 1, I would say the starvation of calories. When you're putting your body under a lot of stress by not eating enough, that's when bad things happen. It starts eating through muscle, it starts eating through bone. We actually saw a 2024 study where they had heart shrinkage on GLP-1. Now, that being said, it didn't say output was damaged, but it was also a short-term trial. So you don't want a smaller heart, unless you have enlarged heart. That's a whole nother story. But you don't want a smaller heart. You don't want smaller organs, right? So hair loss, muscle loss, organ atrophy. We're seeing teeth issues with starvation. Definitely don't want to have teeth issues associated with it. So that's what I'm concerned is really what causes people to age. Less muscle, bone density issues. Mm-hmm. Those are the things that do it. And exactly what Jay said, all of those things are solved, in my opinion, by 3 or 4 things. 1 is eating more than 1,000 calories. There's nobody in the world. I'll say nobody. Out of the last 5,000 clients, I've brought 1 person down to 1,000 calories, and they were a little person. Other than that, including my 69-year-old that lost 3 times as much as what she should have on GLP-1, 69 years old, she's eating more than 1,000 calories a day. Number 2 is to get that protein up. In my opinion, I think everybody should be over 100 grams of protein. Sometimes more is even better. I have to watch because I own a medical practice. I can't prescribe macros to non-clients. And here's the deal, guys, and I like to say this. In the United States, only the following people can give you macro or calorie advice once you identify you're on medicine or have a chronic health condition. Nutritionist, registered dietitian, doctor, nurse practitioner, physician's assistant. If they don't have one of those 5 credentials, they legally cannot give you macros. It's outside their scope of practice. They don't have malpractice. They don't have the certifications that provide those macros. So guys, please be careful when you talk to influencers and they give you macros. If you have a kidney disease or you have, some sort of metabolic condition or whatever it is, that could really, worst case scenario, it unalives you. Chances that happens very, very low. But in the United States, nutritionist, registered dietitian, doctor, nurse practitioner, and physician's assistants are the only ones that can prescribe you macros because it's called medical nutrition therapy once you identify that they have that. So it has to be under the medical umbrella to provide you that. So that means personal trainers can't give you macros once you identify you have any health conditions, right? This means influencers obviously don't have the credentials. And even if they do, they wouldn't give advice because of medical malpractice. So if I said, hey, Kim, I need you to eat 130 protein, 115 carbs, and 40 fats, and she had a condition that I didn't know about and something happens, I could be liable for it. So that's why I always, I'm hot. Let me take this off.
I would sip some tea, but my tea is way over there. Dustin, you preaching today. Go and take your sweater off. Take your sweatshirt.
He is in the zone. Okay. He is in the zone. I hope y'all are listening. I know, and I think maybe Dimply Dimples may have come in recently. But he is continuing on talking about, what it really means to, one, to get your macros and who to get them from, and to not always listen to, people who are on the internet, because he talked about earlier is that, you never know what somebody else is doing, which we talk about how many times a day until sometimes we are blue in the face. And so he is really preaching about doing things the right way. Now we may have to come back to what she mentioned about, because some people have to come off the MEDs. And so when they come back on, I think this may go back to what you talk about with the life of the MEDs, Dustin, like when you have to go on surgery or you have to have different things, whatever that looks like, when you have to now come back on. Because I know for me, people talk about resets and they're like, oh, I'll just do a reset. Do you believe in that? Or what does that really look like when now I have to come off the MEDs and now I got to go back on after maybe 6 weeks at least? Because that's how how long sometimes it is for to heal.
So the easier way of doing that is let's figure out the root cause, right? So we know upon quitting GLP-1, average weight regain within 12 months is 60 to 70% of what you gain. So I don't see a point. And again, I'll explain what a plateau is. It has nothing to do with GLP-1. The plateau itself is not GLP-1 related. Okay. So coming off of it to me doesn't make any sense at all. If you want to try it, that's perfectly fine. But to me, it's like, hey, you're giving your body the hormonal optimization and the binge eating cues, and like it's helping so much with things. I do not suggest coming off. Okay. So I've been doing this demonstration for, I don't even know, 10 or 15 years. I know I'm in a smaller box, but I think we can make this work. This is what a calorie deficit is. Okay. This is the law of thermodynamics. This is absolute. Okay. If your metabolism, which is my red pen, is faster, and it's technically metabolic rate. I just like the word metabolism because it's easier for people to understand. If your metabolism is faster than the amount of calories you consume, you have to lose weight. Okay. Now, this may not dictate in the scale because of water weight or constipation or whatever it might be, artificial reasons why we gain weight. But as long as your metabolism is faster than the amount of calories you consume, you have to lose weight. Okay. You have to. The problem with GLP-1 is muscle loss. Okay. Muscle is the biggest driver of our metabolism. Okay. So because GLP-1 does have higher muscle loss than traditional dieting, mainly from starvation and protein deficiency. Because of this, if we get 50,000 likes, I'll give away something for free. Okay, does that sound good, guys? Get the 50,000 likes, I'll give away something for free.
Tap away.
I'm tapping. Y'all need tap. The more y'all tap, the more these lives go out.
Get the 50,000. I'll give away 3 free gifts. How about that?
Okay, let me go on the different tap.
So, because we're going to get up there real fast. So, well, normally when we get to 50,000, I take my shirt off and sing a song, but I don't know if it's a little cold outside for that, but I like to have a lot of fun. If you don't follow me, guys, we have a lot of fun on our lives.
Yes.
So, I'll tell jokes, life experiences. It's a lot of fun. And again, guys,
you a late night crew, pull up for sure.
Yeah. One other thing I want to add, guys, is I don't try to make money off TikTok. And I mean, it's like, I don't ask for gifts or anything else. I do this. I go live almost every single day just to give you all advice. Many of you all will sign up for coaching because of it, and that's great, and I'm blessed for that. But jump on my lives. It costs $0 to get on my lives. I don't try to do that. It's just I don't need to. I'm blessed. So anyway, make sure you give me a follow. I appreciate that. So again, if your metabolism is faster than the amount of calories you consume, you have to lose weight. Okay. The problem with GLP-1 is many of you all are losing muscle at high rates. Muscle is your biggest driver of your metabolism. I'm from cold West Virginia. What part, Mama? Mm-hmm. Mama Pepper, she definitely is from West Virginia. I can just tell by that name. Mama Pepper's definitely from West Virginia. I'm going to guess Logan County. Let's see how close I was. So that's one of my country counties around me. So anyway, because of muscle loss, every jab you take, good Lord, we're at 55,000. That was fast. So if every jab you take, you lose muscle. And over time, your metabolism crashes. So what ends up happening? I live in Winfield, so right between Charleston and Huntington, so just down the road. Mm-hmm. So because of the metabolism loss, your metabolism's slower on GLP-1. And this is true with Retta too, guys. I know there was a lot of rumors that Retta spared muscle. That's not what it said in the studies. That was a bunch of influencers spreading nonsense without any clinical trial data to support it. So we'll get through that, brown sugar. So as your metabolism crashes, that's what causes the plateau. When your metabolism equals the amount of calories you consume, your body has no reason to lose weight. So I'm going to teach you all something that's going to explain your life. Okay, guys? And then I'll give you tips on how to fix your metabolism, break through a stall. Who has tried a calorie deficit and it didn't work? So you downloaded a MyFitnessPal or some type of app. It gave you numbers and you didn't lose weight. Who's done that before? I'd like to see 10 people in the chat.
10 people in the chat.
I like interactive lives.
Yes, so do I. So do I, Dustin.
Oh, they interacting in the live today for sure. They in there.
They want the successful journey. That's why.
You just needed this.
Dustin.
I'm pulling up for Dustin every time.
You just need this beautiful single guy on your lives, and it takes off. So somebody
look, while Dustin talking about being single, I swear there was somebody hit live the other day trying to hook him up. I said, wait a minute, I thought he was married. Now what is happening? What's going on here?
I went through a divorce earlier this year, so
that's right. I remember him talking about that, and I was like, okay, well, we all look. I'm on the lookout for you.
Me and Dustin got
for you.
Yeah, I love my ladies. So, so anyway, let me get back on track. The calorie deficit didn't work for you because you didn't have the tools to be successful. It's not your fault. Okay. So earlier I said, if you have any chronic health conditions, only a doctor, a physician's assistant, nurse practitioner, retro dietitian, or nutritionist can give you macros. This is a very important point. Okay. Because if you identify that you have any chronic health conditions or on medicine, they can't give you legally macros and calories, okay? Well, that's the same thing with the app. They can't ask you if you have any chronic health conditions or metabolism disorders or genetic issues because they can't legally know, because if they did, they would have to have one of those 5 professionals going, oh, Kim has PCOS, let me manually adjust her calories. So if you struggle with obesity and you have any of these conditions, chances are your metabolism is slower than what is estimated on the apps. PCOS, I see all the PCOS girlies. We have a study from 2009 showing a 700 calorie drop on metabolic rate. Your metabolism 700 calories less than a lady without PCOS. We know insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes can affect weight loss and how we use specific types of calories, macros. We know autoimmune disorders slow the metabolism. We know hypothyroidism slows the metabolism. We know menopause slows the metabolism. We know lower testosterone in men and women can affect weight loss. And this is the craziest one, if you've done dangerous diets in the past, you can permanently drop your metabolism by 600 calories. So there was a study. Did anybody ever watch The Biggest Loser? I'm sure some people.
Yes. Did, yes.
I've actually worked with
Andy.
Yeah. So what was cool was they did a study on them. And when you went on the show, they tested your metabolism. They used scientific methods to see exactly how many calories your body burns each day. Things that you all don't have access to. Okay. And then they lost weight. Then they checked their metabolism at the end of their journey and they found out they lost about 600 calories. This is normal with a lot of weight loss. Okay. So if you're losing a lot of muscle, you're losing a lot of weight dangerously. And that show should have been, that was unethical what they did to those people. They were eating 800 calories a day. They were working out for 5 hours a day. It was dangerous. Screw them. I don't like Jillian Michaels. She hates GLP-1 anyway. She can go to hell. Tell her I told her. But anyway, so what they did was they tested their metabolism years later to see what happened. And what they found was most of them gained their weight back, but their metabolism stayed damaged by 600 calories. It never came back. So if you've done those super long fasts or you've done those super low calorie diets for an extended amount of time, your metabolism is most likely going to be less than somebody who didn't do that. So why is this important? If you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those medical conditions, then the calories that were allocated to you with that app that told you you would lose weight with this amount of calories is going to be incorrect. It may be 500, 600, 700, 800 calories off. And so because of that, you tried a calorie deficit, but it was not your fault because you were never in a deficit to begin with because of the health conditions that you have. And this is why we fix the root causes of why people gain weight, so we can fix those and manipulate those issues to be positive. We can fix them and cause more weight loss. So a calorie deficit is absolute, but you have to be in a calorie deficit. And a calorie deficit is when your metabolism is faster than the amount of calories you consume. As long as this is true, you're going to lose weight. Again, because of muscle loss associated with GLP-1 therapies, metabolism equals how many calories you consume. You're stuck. There's no reason for the body to lose weight anymore. So somebody asked about vision loss. So the condition is called NAION, and I'm not even going to try to say the medical, but what those acronyms stand for, because it's a lot of letters and a lot of words, but we're just going to call it NAION. So this is an eye condition common in diabetics. Chances of getting it as a diabetic is 10 cases out of every 100,000. So low likelihood of happening. So what are the chances of having it with GLP-1? An additional 13 people out of every 100,000 will get it. So the chances of getting NAION is 23 cases per 100,000. Everybody says it causes blindness. In most cases, it doesn't. That's not means I'm not belittling. It can, but in most cases, it doesn't. But at the same time, there is a risk factor. But it's 23 per 100,000. It's not what these memes are shared by personal trainers who think you can't afford their coaching if you take GLP-1. So they post these memes daily to try to scare you. All it causes cancer, it doesn't. We have a study of 2.5 million users that show less rates of cancer treating obesity with GLP-1. We see less sudden death within 3 years of taking GLP-1. We see less cardiac events on GLP-1. We actually see less pancreatitis. We keep hearing about pancreatitis and GLP-1. We have a study that says the likelihood of pancreatitis among the general population is 0.4%. It's 0.3% on GLP-1 users. What we also got to realize, guys, is that just because you have a side effect does not mean it actually is from the medicine, right? Like you have a likelihood of every condition known to man, how minute it is or not, right? So just because you get pancreatitis on GLP-1 doesn't necessarily mean the GLP-1 caused the pancreatitis, right? It can. There are risk factors, but they are very minute, very, very low. So what I was mentioning with the calorie deficit thing, we need to fix the metabolism.
Mm-hmm.
DEXA scans are okay. I actually don't suggest them because more often than not, it gets in people's heads, and a lot of times they're inaccurate. You have to be fasted when you use a DEXA scan. You can't have any food or water because it overestimates fat and other things. I don't think they're needed unless you're someone that's really specific on like what body fat percentage you want to be at or something like that. I don't see it actually providing much insight for you personally in a lot of cases. If you want to pay for it, no, just make sure you're fasted when you do it. So that way it's going to be more accurate. So if we're going to increase the metabolism, okay, actually let's do a freebie. Delina, are you still on?
I think she said she was stopping in, but I think she might still be here.
Always like her help. So Delina is actually same thing with the InBody. Okay, Delina, I want you to help me with our giveaway. Yes. So we're giving away 3 different prizes. Okay, you all get to pick which prize you want. There's 3 options. Okay, option 1, you get a free Advanced Nutrition Solutions t-shirt. That's my private brand. We got some cool, funny workout t-shirts and diet t-shirts and stuff like that. So you can pick a free shirt. Secondly, you can pick $25 in free supplements by First Form, which is a company that we sponsor that's great for GLP-1 use. Or you can take $700 off my most popular coaching packages, and I'll throw in at least $100 in free supplements. So you pick a choice. You either can get free $25 in free supplements, a t-shirt, or you can take off $700 off my most popular coaching packages, and I'll throw in free supplements. All right, I'm going to give you all a number. You're going to spam the number. You're just going to, so if I tell you 2 enter, 2 enter, 2 enter, just rock it, okay? The number of the day is 3. So put the number of the day 3 on. I will keep talking, and here in a little bit, my friend Delina will pick a winner. So spam the number 3. She'll hook you up. Okay.
All right.
So
Delina, hook them up.
Hook them up.
So in my opinion, there's 6 things that you can do to increase your metabolism. This is also how to break through a stall. This is how you get your lean tone physique, all that good stuff. The number of the day is 3. So I see 2s, I see 4s.
I was like, wait.
I use 2 as an example. Right. 9 people are having fun with this. So spam the number 3. Here in about a minute, we'll have Delina pick. So Delina, wait 30 seconds and pick 3 winners for me. If you win, you have to message Delina so that she can award the gift. I do suggest to everybody, we do free consults with coaching. So if you're ever interested in talking with us about your goals and see if we can help you or not, schedule a free consult. I don't take money over the phone or anything like that. We talk about your goals. I send you a checkout link. You check out, we rock and roll, we move forward to get you amazing results. If you don't want to do it, you can still do the gift card or the free t-shirt. So
awesome. You're awesome.
Everybody,
Thank you.
So everybody needs a D vitamin. So I am pro that. I think it's like 70% of Americans are deficient in vitamin D. Vitamin D is actually
had my blood work done, and that's what she told me. I was like, after all these years, and she was like, you probably been deficient for a long time and you just didn't even realize it because nobody really like looked at my labs.
Yeah. I mean, unless you're going outside for 10, 15 minutes a day to get in the sun, chances are you're going to be low on vitamin D. And, obviously this time of year, it's horrible. So, but vitamin D affects your hormones. Your muscle gain, your fat burning. So vitamin D is super important. All right, Delina, pick 3 winners.
Thank y'all for adding the 3s to the chat.
Thank you.
So 6. And we actually, with our top plan, we have a plan called Concierge. You actually get $500 worth of comprehensive labs for free each year. So we check everything from individual hormones, inflammation markers, all kinds of stuff. So that's with our top plan. So we have more of a functional medicine plan than we have traditional plans. Anyway,
we tell people about labs all the time, Dustin, and there's, people, they kind of look at us and they're just like, well, why do you need labs if you're doing this or you're doing that? And I'm like, because that's the baseline. Labs are the baseline.
Jersey girl, you win. Add Delina and message her. She's got 2 more winners, so pay attention to the chat, guys.
I love it.
All right. Can we discuss inflammation markers? I'm running out of time. However, if you want to message me privately.
Yeah. I feel like we need a part 2. So we're part 3. Yeah, we had Dustin on. This is his second time coming on. I told y'all, I'm telling you, tell a friend to tell a friend. Okay. Pull up next time. All right. When we say Dustin is coming, he's coming hard. Okay. He's coming.
Yeah, I'm getting my money worth. You said 1 hour, and I'm like, I am going to absolutely crush it for an hour. So I may lose my voice the rest of the day, but y'all are worth it. So
thank you.
Right, we need you to go live again later on too.
There you go. I'll be live tonight. Nurse Tara, congratulations, you win.
Yeah.
Add Delina and message her.
Congratulations. I need to pull up for a free consult too, just so I can,
I
just want
get to where I need to be for sure.
All right, rapid fire. 6 things you need to be doing to get your dream physique and or break through a stall. This works for everybody. Let's make you a hyper responder. Okay.
Let's go.
1, stop starving yourself. You need more than 1,000 calories. When you starve yourself, you're putting your body under a lot of stress. Let's actually, this is wild. So I'm actually against fasting for any reason other than religious purposes. I'm 100% on for religious purposes, obviously. We've had 3 studies over the summer that really poke, Cam, congratulations, you went to. Cam P432.
Congratulations to the winners.
Aren't you glad you pulled up today? Okay.
Yeah, so that's potentially $2,100 in free giveaways. So
I love it. Thank you, Dustin.
So we got to get enough calories in. We need to be above 1,000. There's really no reason. If you go below 1,000, your body's going to be under a lot of stress. 3 fasting studies this summer. 1, 7-day fast. 13 pounds of weight loss, 10 of it's muscle. That's 100 calorie permanent drop in your metabolism after 1 week. You're going to gain back the weight rapidly because your metabolism's now slower because of the fast. It just doesn't work. 48-hour fast. You hear all these people on TikTok. Oh, it solves everything. It reduces inflammation. It does not. We actually see anything longer than a 48-hour fast actually increases stress in the body, increasing inflammation markers. And then the intermittent fasting study showed in people without medicine, if you did intermittent fasting and then the other group ate the same amount of food but spread it over the course of the day, there was no change in any biological markers over 1 year. No difference in blood glucose, none in insulin, nothing. So intermittent fasting, if you don't like breakfast, I'm a big fan, okay, I understand. But with GLP-1 therapies and the risk of starvation, I'm not an intermittent fasting guy. So eat more than 1,000 calories. 2, we got to get protein over 100. Protein actually increases the metabolism. It also helps you get your lean tone dream physique. You cannot tone, which is showing muscle under fat, without protein. You have to have that muscle underneath your fat to show off definition, right? So over 100 grams, unless you have CKD. That's chronic kidney disease. Typically, a doctor will put you between 60 and 90 grams, which is still more than what the average GLP-1 user eats, but optimally get over 100.
Mm-hmm.
Cheryl B, sometimes that happens. Whether you need to increase dose or, maybe it's a hormonal thing. Maybe your blood sugar is going too low and now you're getting that, hey, I really want some carbs. Make sure, I'm getting ready to go into carbs too. So number 2 is increase protein to at least 100 grams. Number 3, eat carbs. Yes, eat carbs. Maximize the effects of the medicine. Keto and carnivore.
Say that for the people in the back.
Yeah.
Or in the hallway.
Eat carbs. They're great.
Yes, they are.
So one of the main reasons why we have GLP-1 is blood sugar and insulin optimization. So it reverses insulin resistance. It teaches your body that blood sugar and glucose is an okay thing. This does not mean you get all the carbs in the world. This means we do what's called lower carb, which is typically between 60 net carbs and 125 net carbs. We do net carbs because we're trying to prevent ketosis. So, Joe Honey, I literally allow my clients to eat rice and potatoes every single day and pizza on the weekends. So, and Delana, who's the mom bod coach extraordinaire, make sure you follow her. She lost over 100 pounds with PCOS and insulin resistance. That's a client of mine years ago. So we got to eat enough carbohydrates to maximize the effects. Don't do keto. So you want at least 60 carbs that are not fiber. Right. You still want to eat that 20 to 30 grams of fiber each day, which is great for your overall health, but you want at least 60 what we call energy producing carbohydrates. So rice, potatoes, fruits, noodles, pizza, pasta, breads, like you can fit those in. Now, if you're trying to look like a fitness model or a bodybuilder, then obviously we have to kind of clean that up a little bit. But I mean, I'll show you a few transformations. I know we're going a little over, Kim. I hope you don't mind.
No, you're good. I don't have nothing but.
So I showed this one earlier. She lost 3 times as much as she should have lost on GLP-1, 69 years old, 160 pounds of weight loss. Should have lost 54. Husband and wife, 225 pounds in a year, rice and potatoes daily. Good old Bloom, my girl, 165 pounds in 16 months, should have only lost 8. She's working out at home. She's eating her protein. She's eating carbs.
Look at those arms, okay? That's what we need. Look at the arms. Like, y'all, these people got muscle, okay?
Over 200 pounds of weight loss there. I love this one because she wore like almost the same. Somebody accused me of this being AI because I totally get it because she's wearing a cowgirl outfit in both of them. But no, that's her clothing of choice. This one's special to me. This was 186 pounds in 18 months without meds. So she had PCOS and insulin resistance, and but she didn't have binge eating disorder. So we were able to manipulate everything for her, and she was doing 10-minute body weight workouts also. But all these people are eating carbs daily and pizza on the weekends. The next one, which I normally forget about, is fats. Women need 40 grams of fats for hormonal production each day. Men need 50 grams of fat for hormonal production. So we got to make sure we get enough fats in. The next one's resistance training. Guys, resistance training does not mean go to the gym. Resistance training means putting resistance on the muscle. So 70% of my clients, Taylor, what I would suggest is for everybody, I have a free service. If you go to my profile and click the coaching link, I have the weight loss quiz. I want to ask you about chronic health conditions and all kinds of. What up, Master Guns? Love you, bro. I need to go back to South Carolina. But shoot, I lost my train of thought. Resistance training. It does not have to mean go to the gym. It can be 10-minute body weight workouts like 70% of my clients do. So it doesn't have to mean that you have to go to the gym. And the transformations I just showed you, most of them worked out at home with little to no equipment.
I know you talked about that earlier too, and I feel like we need a whole system or a whole session on resistance training, because I know you talked about with one of the ladies too. That's all she did was 10 minutes. People will argue me down on what I always do. And I'm like, no, y'all, one, I don't have enough time sometimes in a day. I know I have 48 hours, 20 hours, 24 hours to do all the things I need to do, but I'm not standing there all day. I'm not standing there all day. I like to talk, because when I see people, and I used to go to the gyms and things, I was like, majority of the time, y'all, all they doing in there is talking. They ain't working out. So what I do at home in my home gym is I get it in and I get out. And I move on.
Guys, I do bodybuilding, and I finished second in the Mid-Atlantic. I'm trying to find a good photo. So I finished second in the Mid-Atlantic, and I'm in the gym for 30 to 40 minutes. That's all. I mean, I get in, get my shit done, go home. Excuse the language.
He did say he was single. So, all right. Yeah,
going to the
Don't be all up in his DMs though, okay? Okay, we trying to help you, okay?
Yeah, this kind of shows how shredded I can get. But again, that's 30 to 40 minutes in the gym. It does not have to be spending a ton of time. Yeah, weight loss quiz. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a little sporadic. Go to my profile, click the coaching link, and you'll see the weight loss quiz. If you have a spouse or you're a male and you're interested in testosterone replacement therapy, you can actually schedule an appointment on that link also. And then I'm going to give everybody the friends and family rate on coaching. So if you want to schedule a free one-on-one consult, go to my profile, click the coaching link, and click that. All right. Resistance training can be all the following. Wall push-ups, one of my favorite exercises for low fitness. You're doing a push-up, but you're leaning against the wall. So it's the same thing as you're doing normally, except you're stabilizing yourself better to make it easier. Once you graduate from that,
right there, Dustin. That's my favorite. I joined the challenge the other day, and somebody was like, "Oh, we gonna do push-ups." I was like, "I'm be on the wall."
Hey, nothing. And then once you, vitamin K and D is very, very important. When you once you successfully master wall push-ups, you can go to knee push-ups. I tell this joke. There's a lot of ladies on. Y'all are stronger than men. Y'all give birth. I don't know how y'all do it. Like if I get a cold, I'm dead for 17 weeks. Y'all are stronger than men. They should be called men push-ups instead of girl push-ups. So knee push-ups, I call them knee push-ups for a reason. Y'all are tougher than men. And then traditional push-ups. You can do squats to a chair. Perfect. Right? Actually good form. It stops your butt so you don't fall down. Then you can do regular squats. You can do sumo squats with your legs a little bit wider. You can do lunges. All that counts. You can do standing crunches or floor crunches. Guys, when you do crunches, real quick, you don't have to lift up very high. You don't have to do a sit-up, okay? The sensation you want is to pick up your head and neck off the ground enough that you feel your abs tighten.
That's it.
That's all you're looking for. As soon as your abs tighten, that is a crunch. So what I want you to feel like is if I'm getting ready to punch you in the stomach, you know how you tense up, right? You flex your abs to embrace for the punch. That's the sensation you want. You just want your abs to tighten. So this is 3 inches off the ground. You do not have to go all the way up. You can also do standing crunches, which is the same exact thing. We'll try to, it works. So put your hands behind your head and crunch forward until you feel those abs tighten. So boom, that counts. Literally, that's all you have to do. So if you can't get on the floor, then do standing pull-ups. You can do dumbbells, hand weights. If you're a client of ours and you have 2 8-pound dumbbells, I can put you through 20 different exercises a week. So fitness,
people think they need a lot of stuff. You really don't. You don't need a lot.
No, I'm telling you, during COVID, I had a garage gym with very little equipment, and I got in, at the time, the best shape of my life.
Yep.
So it's about consistency over time. I suggest you work out at least 3 days a week, but I can tell you from the transformations I've shown you today, they're normally doing 5 days a week, and you're like, I don't have time. Well, they're doing 10-minute workouts. So I'm looking for 50 minutes over a 168-hour, 7-day week.
Come on.
You can find 50 minutes over 168 hours to work out. The next one is a 30-minute walk daily. We have a recent study that shows if you and your friend are both eating the same foods. If you walk 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, you burn about 30% more fat. So that's a 30% increase in weight loss just by doing a 30-minute walk 5 days a week. If you'd rather do Zumba or play basketball with your kids or, use a bike or a treadmill or elliptical, like swimming, whatever you want to do, give it 30 minutes. You're going to feel a heck of a lot better. The last one is you probably need supplementation. I'm not going to spend, it would be a 2-hour chat. Each person's needs are different. There is no one size fit all, in my opinion, with supplements. I will tell you, TikTok supplements for the most part are garbage. Anything that says PCOS on it is garbage. Anything that says GLP-1 on it is garbage. There's no nutrient differences per se. I mean, there are some, but a PCOS multivitamin is not going to be any better than a regular multivitamin in 90% of cases. So watch out for them taking advantage of your struggles. You see PCOS, you think it's going to solve it. You're going to buy that supplement. It does not mean. PCOS stands for polycystic ovarian syndrome. It's a condition in which the ovaries become inflamed and little cysts, they look like pearls. And again, I specialize in women's health. I know it's weird hearing me say it. I get it. If you don't want to listen, I get it. I'm not mad. But little cysts form on the outer edges. They look like little pearls. Those cysts create male sex hormones. And those male sex hormones are why PCOS is bad. It's the actual cyst. They create male sex hormones. It disrupts your estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone ratios, which is going to cause more belly fat, infertility issues, menstrual cycle issues. Can be linked to endometriosis too. Hair loss on top of your head, hair gain somewhere else. I don't prescribe, so I'm not a doctor. I'm a nutritionist and weight loss specialist. I work with doctors to help you optimize your results. So I create custom meal plans to help you maximize results and fix some of the root causes of why you gain weight in the first place. If you're interested in supplement recommendations, the easiest thing to do, guys, is just fill out my weight loss quiz. Go to my profile, click the coaching link, and fill that out. And then once we kind of know more information about you, we can give you supplement recommendations based off of what you need instead of just throwing a bunch of crap at you. Awesome. So maximize results, break through a plateau, get your dream physique. Eat more than 1,000 calories, eat more than 100 grams of protein unless you have CKD. Eat at least 60 net carbs. Eat your carbs, so more than 60 net carbs, less than 125. So that means you can have rice and potato daily. Fats, 40 fats for female, 50 fats for males. Resistance train at least 3 to 4 days a week. That can be 10-minute body weight exercises or dumbbells. It doesn't mean you have to go to the gym or whatever. 30-minute walk daily, and then get your supplements in if you need them. You do that, you're fixing a lot of the root causes of why you gain weight in the first place. GLP-1 is going to strip the fat, and you're doing everything you can to fix everything else. You're going to become a hyper responder. You're going to have, a flatter belly and a perkier booty and all that good stuff. And then also, guys, skinny talk is scaring the heck out of me. I just wanted to say, so many people. Somebody sent me a TikTok last night, and I think it was Delina, now that I remember. But this girl was bragging about eating 600 calories a day and how she's so skinny and blah, 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 and all these things. And it's just she's deathly ill. Deathly ill. Her body hates her. Guys, thickness is amazing. I'm a thick guy, so keep that thickness. Let's lose the belly. Let's keep the thickness. So that's just my part. So, but yeah, it's scary.
It is. Dustin, I saw 2 questions quickly before you go about. I know we talk about vitamin D. And someone was asking the differences between those different types of vitamin D's. Does it really matter, or you just need to really just get
D3? D3 is the best one, and it's cheap. You can get. I would suggest 5,000 IUs a day, which stands for international units. I don't know why they why they use that measurement instead of milligrams or micrograms, but. I would suggest that. I mean, you can go to Amazon and find a vitamin D supplement. It's going to be cheaper than TikTok. I love peptides, but that's a whole other talk for another day.
Right.
I do like additional peptides. What I will say real quick, D3 and K2 is good. Yeah. What I will say about peptides is, and I mean this, if you're a female and you're not eating at least 120 grams of protein, I do not suggest peptides. because when you take peptides, your body has an increased need for protein. You would lose more weight just eating 120 grams of protein compared to what you're doing now adding a peptide. These peptides can get very expensive. The other thing is if you are on peptides, you really only want to do it for 2 months and then take time. This is scary and this is slightly fear-mongering, but it's true. If you take growth hormone-based peptides, so BPC 157, testosterone, CJC 1295, ipamorelin, SERM, FRAG, AOD, IGF-1, if you're taking any of those peptides and you have any cancer cells, growth hormone grows cells in the body. It doesn't differentiate between cancer cells and regular cells. So that's why you never want to stay on it for very long. We're talking about growth hormone, not GLP-1. We're talking about the fancy anti-aging ones that many of you are doing. Do it for 60 days and then take a long time off. You don't want to chronically create that much growth hormone over time, because if you do have any cancer cells, it can actually cause a more aggressive cancer. Is it rare? Absolutely. But do it for 60 days. If you're going to try any of those, and then come off of it for a while, and then go from there.
That's good. Dustin, the other question I had, and I didn't mean to interrupt you, but someone was asking about, because I know you said with the 10 minutes, can they just go on, like, do you have any classes for that? I know I've never seen you go live or do anything with the fitness, but is that something that, if they did the program, they would just have to get there, right?
Yeah, for our clients, we do everything. Even with our 2 top plans, you get 2 instructor-led workouts a week. That's recorded, so you can stockpile them. So you'll actually get 104 of them in a year with our coaching. So you'll have instructor-led by my coach, Haley, out of Baltimore, which is really nice. Body weight on one day, dumbbell on the other. And then we create custom plans for our clients, including the 10-minute body weight workouts. There's probably some stuff on YouTube that's good. The biggest thing with us is every plan is customized to the individual. So, like, if I know that you have trouble doing squats, I can exchange it. Or if I know you have trouble with this, or you need a seated workout only to get started or whatever, I have the ability to customize that to the individual. Same thing with their meal plans. If you tell me you're gluten, we'll make a meal plan that's gluten-free where you can still eat your favorite foods to hit your numbers and stuff. So with us, everything's 100% customizable to the individual. So because of that, we normally don't have free resources with workouts. It's just kind of what we got to do, right? So,
awesome.
Who learned something today?
I always learn something in life.
Look, every time. Sometimes I go to sleep and then I wake up and then I see Dustin. I'm like, let me just go ahead and pull up right quick. Let me just pull up, because I know I'm going to learn something. Dustin, this has been amazing. I mean, I know I learned something each and every time that you come on. I know, look, every time you go over the 6 steps about, stalls and really anything, because I feel like it's the baseline. I'm getting ready to go get my, my 30-minute walk in. Those are things, and Broderick said it, those are things that we learn that, he just does it. He came on with us today to go live, and he's going to go live again later on as well for the people. He does it. He has a heart of gold. And he just wants people to continue living their best life. So I hope that everybody got something from this. I hope, one, make sure if you're not already following him, what are you doing? Okay.
What are you doing? Come on. Real quick, we are having an event in Nashville this week. So if anybody's near Nashville, we're having a group meetup. You do not have to be a client. Everybody is welcomed. We're going to do food, drinks. We're going to go out. We're going to have workouts. We're going to have a lot of camaraderie. You don't have to be a client to come. If you're interested and you live in the Nashville area, all you have to do is message me and I'll send you the registration form. It's just a lot of fun. We get people, like when we did our Atlanta event a couple years ago, we had 55 people show up and only 3 of them were clients. So it was awesome. Like we had the community showed up. And so obviously this is right before Christmas, so it's hard for a lot of people. But if you are in the Nashville area and you want to hang out with us, Courtney and I will be in, a lot of clients and friends. You can just message me privately and I'll send you a link. You can come hang out with us. So.
And we hope to have Dustin next year as well at at either of the 2 meetups or even both. Of course, y'all know we are pulling up in ATL yet again. So make sure again you are following myself, following Kim and Dustin. Y'all know that we will be in ATL around June. Usually probably will be the end of the last weekend of June. And then we will also be in Dallas. So any journey that you are on, if you are here to support us, if you are here to learn more about Dustin, because Dustin, it was amazing to see him in person and to really get some additional gems that he always drops each and every time. So make sure that you pull up on any of those events. If I can get to Nashville this week, I'm coming. So
there you go. Well, we're going to follow you all everywhere, and I'm actually excited about Dallas because when we do the Atlanta event, we also have after parties. So if you want to come hang out with us, go out to food and drinks and stuff like that, we do that with our clients and those that are there. And then Dallas, we have a ton of clients, so we're excited about that because we haven't made it to Dallas yet. I was supposed to be in Dallas in October, but I don't know if you all knew, I was on Jubilee, the debate series. And so I debated 4 people that absolutely hate GOP1, and 82% of people said that my team won. So if you go to YouTube, type in Jubilee, you'll see the anti-Ozempic versus Ozempic one. You'll learn a lot about how ignorant some people are on GOP1.
I watched some of it, and I was like, I got to go back and watch the whole thing.
Dustin had more composure than I would.
Dustin, every time I talk to people and they were like, Dustin was phenomenal. I mean, piece that he has about it, because he just spitting facts. There ain't nothing you can beat against facts. And that's written down. And I mean, it's not like he's just trying to grasp it out the air and now he's trying to come on live to try to tell people, or come on this podcast or whatever it was. But I mean, no, there's nothing there ain't no denying that. I don't care what you're talking about. So
there's a GL Jubilee that it aired last month, about a month ago. But it's 50 some minutes. I'll tell you a story about it. We filmed for 3.5 hours. We had like 10 different topics we went over. Their team lied and manipulated data so badly that they had to cut out probably 70% of the conversation. It's so disappointing because there's one on childhood obesity, and I work with a lot of kids. I donate a lot of meals. If we want to solve childhood obesity, and this is just my personal opinion, we need healthy breakfasts and healthy lunches for every single kid, and we need healthy snacks. And these kids who come from single family homes or are in poverty and things like that, those meals might be the only thing they eat all day.
That's right.
And like, if you're going to charge me more in taxes so that I can make sure my local elementary school has kids not starving, and they actually get food that's quality, that actually benefits their life, like, I'm paying more. And it's like, we can't solve the childhood obesity problem with more exercise or more meds or whatever. Like, we have to go to the fundamentals of food and food security. Because I live in one of the poorest states. We're either the poorest state or the second poorest state. And so I literally, I'm on local media. I'm sorry for going so over. I do a lot of shows on local media, news and stuff. And I was there Wednesday, and I was seeing kids in homeless lines for food and clothing driving down the road. And you talk about just breaking your heart. There's nothing worse. Nobody deserves homelessness. Nobody deserves to be going hungry. And I'm seeing kids. I did a event at a pop-up soup kitchen last month, and I was their guest speaker. And I saw 3-month-olds and their family getting food because they were hungry. And it's just like, we have this horrible situation, and we're starting wars overseas and all kinds of crap that we shouldn't be getting into. And we got our babies that are hungry.
Right.
Like, nothing here. Don't mess with the elderly. Don't mess with our veterans. Don't mess with our babies. And all it would take is having decent food available for free for these families. I mean, some areas, if you ain't got money to pay for a school lunch, you don't have school lunch. You know what I mean? Like, why are we letting our kids get hungry? Why are we letting them starve? And then their parents, maybe low on time, and I get it, like, I'm a single dad half the time, right? And I'm not trying to like compare myself to others, But I know running a business and trying to get adequate food on the plate for him that's not mac and cheese or, something carbs only, it takes time. And and I'm blessed that I do have the funds to do that, obviously, but there's a huge portion of the population that it's like, hey, we're going to have the dollar mac and cheese today, and that's going to be all that you eat, and then these kids are suffering from obesity related issues. I see kids getting fatty liver at 8 or 9 years old. Like we got to take care of our kids, so there's a huge Jubilee section where I go off about, because they were talking about fighting childhood obesity with GLP-1, and I'm like, well, we need to start with the beginning, right? We gotta make sure that we're feeding our kids to begin with, and then see what other options need to be added. So anyway, guys, add me. My inbox is open. If you ever want to come on anybody else's lives, message me. If you're interested in coaching, I'm going to give everybody the friends and family rate that's on here. So if you want to schedule a free consult with me or Courtney, it's 100% free. We do not take money over the phone. There is no high pressure sales. We want to help you. If we can help you, let's rock and roll. If it's not the right time, you're not hurting our feelings. We want to really help you. Our coaching packages start at $100 a month with custom meal plans and custom workout plans. And then they go up from there depending on the amount of services you want. So go to my profile, click the coaching link, do that. That's the third link down. The very top one for a consult's for TRT. So testosterone replacement therapy. So don't fill that one out unless you're wanting TRT. Woo!
Thank you, all right. This has been great. I mean, I can't even... I'm always speechless anytime I leave anywhere that you have your hands in or, any type of knowledge that you are dropping. So we appreciate you more than you know. I feel like we need a part 3. So look out for your DMs. We're coming.
Guys, I love everybody.
Thank you.
I tell everybody I love them until I have a reason not to. But I love you all. I mean it. You ever need an ear, just message me. I get back to all my messages within a day, so it may not be instantaneous. But if you need anything at all, message me. And I'm blessed to have the opportunity to help so many today and see my friends.
Yes. Thank you. We appreciate you.
I'm going to drop bits and pieces of this live, and then the full will be on YouTube.
Yes. Cool. And then 9 p.m. tonight, I'll be doing another live.
Yes, someone asked that.
It's just ask me anything. You can literally anything, health, fitness, diet, GLP, GLE is what I'm going to start calling it.
What time zone? You're Central or?
No, I'm Eastern.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Eastern. So y'all, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dustin. We appreciate you.
Hey, love you guys. Have a good day.
Y'all have a good day.
Have a good one. Kim, you still staying on or no?
No, I'm gonna get something to eat.
Okay, that's what I'm going to. All right, bye, y'all.
Carbs.
Yeah, look, y'all didn't heard these 6 things. Y'all, look, if you got notes like me, okay? I'm telling you, this is phenomenal. Please make sure that you are definitely following Kim's YT as well. Please do, because that's where we're dropping everything. I know a lot of people always ask that as well. Where can we find everything? If I didn't make it at 11, where can I now find it? That's where you can get it.
Well, for sure. Go get me some nice carbs.
Look, I'm about to go get some wings.
Girl, that's protein too. That's protein too. So I'm getting protein and carbs. So all right. And then Tim, I'm gonna text you throughout the day.
Okay.
Gail's in the chat. Follow Gail.
I saw Gail.
I'm trying to get Gail for a live.
Gail, look, if we gotta come on late night, I will make sure that I have my energy drink ready. We're gonna go on your schedule. So when we can have Gail, I know all y'all gonna pull up for that.
I already know. Authorization queen. Okay.
Please, because the people need help. The people need help. I know Kim she wants to definitely talk about more so with insurance. Y'all, it's tough right now. Y'all, if y'all saw my video the other day, I had so much anxiety, y'all, just going in there to sign up for my insurance. It's tough right now. It is so very tough. I'm telling y'all, but we got you. We got you. We know the people. Okay. We know the people who have the good information, not just folks. Okay. Cause that's different. Y'all just people. Cause y'all heard it from Dustin as well. You can't just continue trying to listen to all the people when they don't know that some people don't know what they're talking about. Let me say some. Okay. So be careful with who you try to get information from. Okay. Mm-hmm. But we coming. We are coming. Yes. That is Kim's YT. So pull up for sure. Exactly. For sure.
Thank you guys. I'm gonna get something. I'm gonna get something. What? So
they got our bag. They got our bag.
At peace. Because somebody pinned Gail. So briefly, Gail has been in the community. I've been following Gail since 2022. Gail owns, is one of the owners of Fast Doc. Gail is what I call a true advocate for the community. She helps with and specializes in getting prior authorizations done. However, it's not like you want the medication and she gets it approved. So that's why it's important to know your insurance, what your insurance offers. But if you fit the criteria and they keep denying you, that is the guru. She is my physician to go to get your prior authorization done. I referred her last night to a newbie. So yes. Hey, what are y'all talking about? Just come in.
Tell a friend to tell a friend.
Right.
Hey, Vanessa. You gonna have to, Vanessa, you missed a good one. Make sure that you're following Kim on the YT as well as on here and myself. That's what we'll have the full live there. But we have talked about all things GLP-1s, fitness, which is huge because we don't necessarily, like a lot of people don't talk about fitness. They don't. They just want to take the MEDs and we're going to be done. But I'm telling you, look, y'all heard what he said. We want to, look, the tummy want to be down and flat and the booty want to be out. Y'all heard it straight from his mouth. Okay? I'm just saying. That's right. It.
I'm going to get something to eat. Love you, ladies. And Tiff,
bye, y'all.
I'll text you later.
Right, yes, ma'am. Bye, y'all. Have a good one.